Play That Goes Wrong is it's a love letter to theater. It is a bunch of community theater actors getting together to put on a murder mystery, and nothing goes the way it's meant to. It is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. I saw it in 2019 in New York, and I remember leaving with my jaw on the ground, just being like, how did they do that the entire time? And what I'm learning is that doing that is really hard. Making things appear to go incorrectly, when they have to go correctly to appear to go correctly, it's a very meta experience that we're having a lot of fun with. But it requires a lot of very creative people, a lot of very brave people, and a lot of patience and fun. When I was doing the planning for this show, like 175 things go wrong or something outrageous like that. It's like almost every moment of the show, something is happening. And when I was sitting down planning for this show, which by the way, I've been trying to do for 3 years, and only this year did I finally get the tech team to agree to do this show. When I was sitting down planning for it, I knew that choreography for the show was going to be by far the most important thing. And I also knew that I'm not the person for that job. So I reached out to Nate Hodges, who I worked with on the SpongeBob musical, and who is also trained in fight choreography, and asked him to come in to be a part of creating this universe and helping me make everything go wrong. So Nate joined as movement director and fight choreographer. And then we were working with Adi Cabral as intimacy director. And there was such an overlap there that we realized that we really needed Adi in the room all the time too. And Adi actually joined Nate as co-movement director and co-fight choreographer. So I would say that it's difficult to direct it, but I luckily have had other people who are doing that with me, and they are fantastic. Every single moment in the show is meticulously planned, because if it weren't, it would probably result in some lawsuits and injuries. So we really have worked very hard on just the planning, like how does this actually functionally happen, but then how do we do it in a way that is true to the story and is true to the characters in the play, and how do we make it funny? And it's been such a really, really great collaboration between myself and the tech team and Nate and Adi and the actors, because really what it comes down to is their ability to execute all of this. So I feel like we did a really good job of assembling this group of incredible actors who are athletic, they are brave, they are willing to try anything, they're really funny, and they're building so much trust between the cast that, like, we can do these things. It's been one of the, like, highlights of my theatrical career, I think, getting to work with people in this capacity where it's so hard, but the payoff is really, really fantastic. And I think it will be for the audience as well. Safety has been at the forefront of our mind the entire time. When I first saw this show, I immediately was like, I want to work on this, but how? Because it is a massive show. And for years, I kept presenting it to our artistic leadership committee. And again, our tech team was like, our technical director was like, no. It's too big. It's dangerous. We need so much time, and we need the right people. And to his credit, he was right. I think we were only ready to do this right now with this team and with this group of people. So the universe worked in our favor, I think, and made sure that happened that way. Because it just is a show that takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of communication. And it takes a lot of time. So we've needed to change the way we do things in order to accommodate this show and this schedule. We needed to be earlier with a lot of things like the set, and the props. We needed them in our hands sooner, and we needed to be on set sooner so that we could keep everyone safe. We've invested in, mats, and we double checked our insurance policy. There's a lot of trial and error. And again, just really athletic actors who are brave and up to the challenge of throwing themselves across a room or down a platform. I mean, again, I don't want to give anything away, but I think you are going to see some of the most entertaining physical performances that you've seen on our stage yet. The Play That Goes Wrong is a show that features a play within a play. And the play within the play is called The Murder at Haversham Manor. It is a murder mystery, a thrilling whodunit by a fictitious playwright named Susie H.K. Brideswell. The Murder at Haversham Manor tells the story of Charles Haversham, who is a rich playboy type who is murdered at his engagement party. And with him are his fiance, his brother, and his dear friend. And then we introduce into the mix the inspector, who is very much like a nod to a lot of inspectors we've seen from shows we've done here in the past. It's very based on sort of like the Agatha Christie style of, you've got this murder that happens and everyone's a suspect. And so the play within the play is actually interesting in and of itself, because you're trying to figure out who actually killed Charles Haversham. Now you add in the fact that that play goes horribly and hopefully hysterically wrong. And it is just one of those things where you're like, I don't know what happened, but I think I liked it. Like, I think that's what people are going to leave feeling, is that there's so many things going on at any given time that are going to be fun to try to figure out. The script for The Play That Goes Wrong is very tight. It lays so much of it out, and it really has to, in terms of when things happen and how they happen. There is a little bit of flexibility in the how, but really a lot of it is predetermined by the script. However, when you get a bunch of really fantastically talented actors in a room who are strong improvisers, we're having some fun. And the other thing about this show that's really wild is that we're planning for things to actually potentially go wrong. They shouldn't, but I mean, that's part of why this show exists in the first place, is that you never know with live theater. I mean, I can tell you that every show we've ever done, no two performances have ever been the same. There's never been a production where we haven't had something go slightly askew. And so even in this show, we're planning for that. And one of the things that we talk about a lot is just like being present and reacting honestly in the moment to what happens, and the humor will come from there. So that's one of the things that we've been working on. But I think the cast is just bringing so much of their authentic selves to this, and I cast these specific people for a reason, in that they're really gifted comedians as well. My favorite type of shows to work on, period, are shows that require an ensemble, shows that there really isn't somebody who's standing out and carrying the show. I love to work on shows where everybody is so important and everything that they do is so important. So that was one of the reasons I was really excited to work on this show, is that I knew it would require me getting the right people in the room to come in and build a place together, and to build a show together that is rooted in trust and is rooted in allowing everyone to do what they do best and having everyone have a moment where they get to shine. That is one of the things I love the most about this show. There is not a moment in this show that one person is responsible for. Everything that's happening has been the work of many people behind the scenes, on stage. And what I think I'm going to be most proud of when I walk away from this show is that we truly did this together. And that if we hadn't built trust, you wouldn't see the falls that you're seeing, or, the the lifts and all of those things. It's like this group has just fully embraced each other. And I think it is the best of why we do community theater in the first place. I do think that The Play That Goes Wrong is a love letter to the theater. I think it is about the zany people who find themselves there, and how no matter what, you know, you're relying on other people and things are going to go wrong, and you can still have a blast. In fact, sometimes that is the time that you have the most fun. So, yeah, I think it's just a love letter to every single person that's worked on this show and every other show we've done this year.